School. This is Michael Ehline with Ehline's Law. As part of my assistance to the public, I take questions from consumers and try to use myself and other experts to help answer them. Because 10-minute law school is the easiest way to answer questions without making people too bored. Now, this will be part of one of my 10-minute law school series called 10-minute personal injury law investment ideas with Jack Gelnak. I've known Jack for about 15 years, and I found his knowledge to be priceless when helping structure settlements won in personal injury claims. Now, before I begin, I'd like to emphasize that this podcast is separate and apart from my teaching and research on the Law Office Study Program or my job as a personal injury attorney at Ehline Law Firm. It is, however, my desire to bring zero-cost consumer information about the law to the general public. In keeping with that theme, here is episode 1 of the 10-minute personal injury law investment ideas series. Now, what I learned from Jack is that when you get a big settlement, it's essential to handle the money wisely to secure your financial future. So, Jack, with that said, I want you to introduce yourself and then go down the list of things that you think we need to know under 10 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, hi, my name is Jack Gelnak. I've been an elite wealth manager for 25 years, helping high net worth clients with the 5 most important things for them. Number 1, making smart decisions with their money. Number 2, mitigating taxes. Number 3, taking care of their heirs. Number 4, making sure their assets are not unjustly taken due to death, disability, or divorce. And number 5, I help quite substantially with charitable planning and magnifying charitable gifts. I have a law degree. I am an accredited investment fiduciary, and I have a number of other designations and certifications, including a National Social Security advisor. One of the things that I found in helping my clients and helping people with their wealth, the statistic for people who gain wealth quickly, mostly in a lump sum, is that 70% of those people lose their wealth within 1 to 2 years. And there's significant reasons for that. The first and biggest reason is that people think that they will not need to worry about money anymore, and that they can continuously spend the money because it'll somehow replenish itself. And of course, that's not the case. Another reason that people lose their wealth within 1 to 2 years is they make very, very critically big mistakes. Number 1, by either choosing the wrong advisor or not having one at all. And number 2, somehow when somebody wins or inherits or in some way gets a lump sum of dollars, believe it or not, people come out of the woodwork. Friends, family, they have these great big ideas about, well, I have this amazing idea about a business that I want you to invest in, or they come in with sob stories. Wouldn't you want your family member to go to college, or for us to get a new house, or whatever else that they might think up of when somebody has and they hear about somebody getting a big, large lump sum of money. So it's very important to take things step by step. And this is where an advisor like myself would come in. And the number 1 biggest thing is to make smart decisions, and to make smart decisions in many different areas. The first area is estate planning. So creating an estate plan is very important. Estate planning includes very important legal documents like a trust, will, powers of attorney, different kinds of powers of attorney, a HIPAA directive. There's a number of other legal documents that, were it not for them, if they are invalid or if you don't have any, you have to march off to court and have a judge sign off on whatever it is that is needed. So these documents are critically important in many different areas. Number 1, of course, for quickness, when somebody needs to make decisions quickly on your behalf. they come into play. Otherwise, you have to go to court, and anything with court, number one, it takes a long time. Number two, it's a public process. Number three, and the most important, is that it's very expensive. Takes a long time and it's very expensive. So putting together a very good, solid estate plan helps you and your family in case something happens. Next, making smart decisions about certain kinds of insurance. Whenever you get things, whenever you have a need all of a sudden because of your wealth, to protect that wealth. Protecting wealth is one of the most important things somebody can do. That most of the time is done through insurance, different kinds of insurance, disability, liability, life insurance, property and casualty insurance, long-term care insurance. All of these kinds of insurance protect your wealth. And the way they protect your wealth is by sharing the liability, sharing the cost with a big insurance company if something happens. So you're paying a premium to get a large coverage or a large benefit. And if something happens, you're using insurance company dollars to help pay for whatever it is that's needed. So it's paying pennies and buying dollars and covering the wealth in many different areas and many different circumstances that can easily and quickly deplete somebody's wealth. Asset protection, that is a very important part when somebody does come into a large lump sum of money, in whatever fashion it is. We're discussing lump sum of money coming from a settlement, for example, a personal injury settlement. There are ways that somebody can protect that asset from different invaders.
So Jack,
Yes.
Jack, that being said, in under 2.5 minutes, what else can you tell us?
Excellent. Protecting the assets, really avoiding risk, avoiding risky ventures. You must always, for any level of risk that somebody takes, you should know the return, or at least the expected level or rate of return. Portfolios, business investments, people coming to you. Avoiding risk and mitigating risk is a very important part about protecting wealth. Of course, maintaining privacy and security. That is one of the most important things about wealth, and I mentioned that already. When you have and you structure a plan that is more or less airtight in protecting your wealth in many different areas, privacy and security becomes paramount, because you don't want invaders to come in and do whatever it is that they do. So there are ways to protect and secure somebody's wealth in order to have it working for them for their current needs and for their future needs, and in fact, potentially even having it provide for current income and then having that wealth grow over time.
So Jack, out of these 10-minute personal injury law investment ideas for today, do you think that prenuptial agreements or postnuptial agreements should be part of that plan?
Certainly. There's very specific steps that need to be taken, and you have to find a qualified attorney to create a prenup or a postnup. And the idea behind that is to really treat it like a contract and not anything emotional. Continue having an amazing relationship with your spouse. Just if something happens, you always have in writing what would happen to the person's wealth or to wealth if somebody is to split up and go their separate